chased in the bot lane as the Terrorblade at half HP right now, Bulldog. And they don't have that much damage to speak of, but Breathe Fire really good in terms of mitigating the damage of the Terrorblade because of the stats-based hero that he is. It looks like TA ends up dying.
This would be the Dark Moon Order.
Okay,
Coming in hot here.
All right, we'll see if you're correct, Jenkins. I have no idea. I'm going to say A, just for fun. It looks like the teams will agree.
Really?
Well, let's see if it's correct or not. Shadow Shaman takes a tumble along with a Mirana from each respective side. Both teams correct. So what buff shall they receive this time around? They've received a primal. Ooh, so everybody gets a little random Bruling. Now, would you say that there is a good Bruling to have at this stage of the game? A lot of them were the Storm Pandas.
I mean, yeah, the Fire Panda does 180 damage. I mean, that's a lot. The Storm Panda does like half of that, less than half. So
yeah,
that's quite nice.
You can see No-Tail.
I mean, look at this.
No-Tail's Fire Panda is going back to Fountain for some reason. Not sure what the deal with that is. I think he forgot that.
I was healing it. That
was there. It's going to run out soon, young man. I think that might be the only Fire Panda in this game. So a little bit unlucky there. Yeah, Waga getting lifted repeatedly in the mid lane.
Seb is
with his actual hero. Shad gonna lift him again. As a lot of this damage being applied to this tier 1 tower because these Earth Pandas do a lot of damage to that.
I see. That's what they're going for. They're trying to siege with these. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good strat. Yeah. And it looks like they're going to finally disappear as Waka has spent the last 30 seconds in the air, essentially. But Bulldog in the bot lane now is a dragon, officially, for fair this time. He's going to get cold snapped, so Dendi trying to apply as much pressure as possible. Shad going to continue on. Doesn't look like they'll find Bulldog, though. He'll walk away safely. It did require a couple TPs, though, for the Radiant. They're going to see Dendi gets breathed fire by Bulldog. Wow.
Just like that.
So
he walked into his
10-4. Only a 1k advantage, though, Cenk. If you'll find in this game mode that, like I said, rubber band effects, I would be surprised if any team runs away with this. As Arrow's going to connect to Seb, and No-Tail should be able to finish him off, although the Burrow Strike does come. Waga, a little bit too late there. But they'll focus their efforts on Snake King instead. He's going to get shackled, is Waga. No-Tail leaps into the Mud Golems. Will get denied. Beautifully done. Big Wyvern ult, though. Looks like Synderen's going to take a tumble in all likelihood, and Shad might be next. No Sunder available. So a great turnaround. 1 for 3. All it cost was No-Tail, who denied himself to neutrals. Well done.
Yeah, I mean, nice little start there from Seb with the bait. You see him do this often in his pubs on SK, but follow-up was not there.
All right, as we see some action, Knickers, it is you. Which god of the Dota universe is missing from the sentence?
Let's see if answering instantly throws the other team off and they pick another one.
Was that a guess, or do you actually know?
I know this. Okay. The barkeep says that.
What?
I know. It's B.
Oh yeah. That rings a bell when I say it.
I think only No-Tail answered here, so. I know, Synderen answered as well.
Okay.
Both teams correct. All right, looks like I was correct as well, Jenkins. So if anybody's keeping score at home, Jenkins is losing horribly. Everyone has received Nature's Help. 3 waves of tree ants spawn in each lane and rush the enemy ancient. Wow. This is your kind of buff, my friend.
Oh, wait. Oh, just 3 trees. Oh, no, 3 waves of trees. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot. But I guess since they
Dendi
both got
mid.
it.
He's going to sidestep the arrow. But Fear's going to continue on with that bounty hunter. Ends up destroying him. And will attempt to get away, but he might be the sacrifice made. Oh! Almost disjoints that, but sadly in his case dies. So 1 for 1. Yeah, the trance against like a TA, not super helpful, I will say. And bot lane Bulldog's going to pop his dragon form and apply a little bit of pressure to that tier 2 tower.
Yeah, same thing there, right? Treant's just tanking.
Oh, arrow connects onto Dendi. Bulldog still with the dragon tail into the breathe fire, and it looks like they will find another kill on Dendi. That is the 5th of the... Wow, I did not think he had died 5 times already.
Ooh, Synderen.
As No-Tail giving the answer for a future question in the form of Selamene, but incorrectly spelled. So we'll see if that ends up being correct for any future question. Shad's getting tracked here by Fear. We didn't really talk about the lineups, Jen, because I know you don't care, but Do you like a particular lineup if this was a normal game of Dota? Oh,
If this was a normal game of Dota.
Cinderen's dying, so this is a regular game of Dota. So continue on.
You know, I would probably say the Radiant's looking at this fight here. We got a bounty hunter going down.
Yeah, it's a 1-for-1 trade in terms of supports. Boom. Applying a little bit of pressure to Shad, but he'll be able to walk away with that really high armor. But TA, Waga, destroying 6K net worth lead. As a fifth question, I mean, the Radiant really need to get a question correctly. What is the name of Dragon Knight Squire? This one's really easy. You know this one, right?
Bram.
He's called Bram, right?
Yeah.
Easy one.
It's Stoic, isn't it? It's not Mars or Caden, for sure. It's 2 other characters.
Bram, I think.
I think it's Bram too.
Oh, I think it's
Yeah, Bram.
Bram.
Bram or... Yeah, it has to be that.
I'll be it in the last second.
Bram is definitely the answer. And both teams get it correct, so both teams shall get a buff. I'm hoping that Mr. Firetoad will end up punishing the Dire here, just for existing. As... Oh, this one is awesome. All right, let's watch this first duel.
Well, you can duel buildings? What do you mean
Yes.
you can duel buildings?
You can duel buildings, as we're going to see the first duel on bot, but Snake King is going to take a tumble, and Bulldog will get 10 damage. Seb, getting off his ult, needs to right-click. There's the duel.
He's ulting
Bulldog.
Oh,
Yep.
yes.
Unfortunate for Bulldog, as Seb will continue to stack up damage here.
Oh,
And more damage going there. That's a double duel there for Waga.
Yeah, he got 40 damage. He's
That
gonna
was
get
nice. Yep. That is 50 damage in the... That's 5 duel victories?
more.
Wow.
That is indeed 5. Yeah, he
So,
killed
extending
5
the
people.
lead. Goodness.
We got one double
Yeah,
duel, I think.
It is so funny when you attack barracks and duel them, I have to say. As Shad, he might be next on the list, but it looks like he's going to be the beneficiary this time around. We'll finally fall towards the end as Snake King gets off the shackle a little bit too late. I believe the buff has ended, and here comes Syndra's enormous ultimate as the position 5 Luna will not get a kill. We'll have to scurry back to base. Very sad, just like all our pub games where Luna is support. Seb
Usually how it goes.
initiates in, gets the burrow strike off, but he's basically alone right now. He's going to get blown up. And now Dendy's going to be next. Goes invisible, but not going to save you when there's a sentry right next to you. 7K net worth lead, Jenkins.
Fire Toad, there's got to be some, like, god.
There we go.
No,
There it is.
I see.
All right. Radiant, get Moonlight Shadow and Track, essentially. And the Dire are all ruptured. But half their team is dead, so it doesn't really benefit them very much.
They are indeed just standing still right now.
Very poor timing.
It
Very
does
poor
look-
timing. In fact, they've gained net worth leads since that buff.
They have. They have. It's not so good. It's
And
not
Bulldog's
going
going to
so
try to
hot.
turn this around. He's going to get that Dragon Form off, but will they be able to get this kill? He's still tracked. All right. All right. Radiant gets something out of that.
A little bit of gold. A little bit of track gold. Okay. Not so bad.
Now, the real track from Fear comes out, though, so keep that in mind. I wonder if that stacks if they have that buff.
Ooh, Seb. He
at
sees
the
him with the
center.
track. Oh.
And, yeah, he's just going to use it to farm the jungle here. Understandable.
Oh, that's not so good. Oh, Bulldog.
Very sad indeed. There's actually a smoke here from the Dire. Doesn't look like they're going to find anybody off the bat. They're going to pop the Moonlight Shadow. And they're going to wrap around to try to squeeze in this push coming in from the Radiant. This could spell trouble for Cinderin. I'm just going to call it out now that he will die here. Dire has been... Very nice. So Rupture and Track coming out. But the Wolves as well in favor of the Radiant. They're going to find Fear to start things out. He has to stand still because of that Rupture. So a huge rubber band comeback mechanic here, Jenkins. This is what you were asking for.
Great. This makes a lot of sense that they got the benefit of this.
I mean, they need a lot of help, buddy. They need a lot of help. Wyvern comes out. Everybody's a wolf, though. Actually cannot wait to... Shad as a wolf is pretty freaking scary. Cinder's going to pop that ult finally, but dies shortly after. So it's a 2-for-1. Despite the buff, still losing this engagement. Shad? I believe he's not metamorphed as a wolf. I would like to see what that looks like.
Is a bit of a troublemaker.
He's
We'll
dead.
just say that. There he goes.
He has died again. After arriving at the inn in Hauptstadt and getting drunk. What object did Davian throw up? Is this my turn, Jenkins?
Well, I mean, this is an easy one.
Yeah, this is easy. It's B.
It's a ring, of course.
Yeah, of course.
It is. For fair play, I mean, Denny,
They should.
Okay, to be fair, you did just get Lycan ult. Entire enemy team ruptured, so...
Yeah, they're both going to copy each other now, so both get it correct. So both shall receive a buff. Both teams correct, but Radiant has Cinder, so they need all the help they can get as we're going to see the cookies. This is the best effect in the game by far.
Whoa.
What the cookie cataclysm?
I believe in you. Oh, whoa.
I'm going for a kill in this cookie madness. What this?
Keep your illusion on, keep your illusion on.
Guys, come on. This is so hard to master, actually.
I can't move.
Oh, I got Synderen. It's cool. I got Synderen.
Get it.
Run, fear!
Wait,
I'm telling you,
follow
the help
me.
button didn't work. What the hell is going
Dude,
on?
the aliens are so broken, actually.
Oh, he's dead. He's dead.
More. Playmaking TV.
How did you get every kill doing this shit?
What? Why are there ranged creeps getting cookies?
There's
Those
no-
aren't heroes.
There's no rhyme or reason. Jenkins, just accept it as it is. You're a Dota player. You don't ask
Okay.
questions. You just accept things.
This is true.
The way
it's
they
still
are.
going.
Oh, they're going to get the bounties, too, so this should help their net worth. The tier 1's going to go down as well. Shad is going to get orchided by Boom. Don't think he can find the kill, although there's the Wyvern ult.
Oh,
You have
that's
to
not
actually
bad.
kill him. Yeah, he might actually get this kill. Sunder on cooldown, but the Arctic burn ends up not being enough here as Snake King comes to the rescue.
Ooh, there's a trap. Waga didn't use the trap.
Not paying attention. He needs to play TA a little bit more, I think. As Denny's going to get a kill, but he gets tracked and brought down immediately. I mean, this is a 4K net worth lead only now for the Dire, and this is with a bounty hunter in your team, so not too shabby. Synderen getting tracked now. Chased. As the Veil of Discord. Here comes the Epicenter, but Synderen
Seb.
dies immediately. Seb will get at least a trade of sorts, but Waga now going to be focused by the fully healed Shad. Cold Embrace going to keep Waga alive for just a little bit longer. Sunder's still on cooldown. He's in a lot of trouble here. This is a right-clicking Boom, keep in mind. So Terrorblade ends up dropping, and Seb looks like he will survive. As
The
apparently
Epi
No-Tail
was-
thinks this is rigged.
The epi was great, and I think it is rigged. I mean, it's obviously rigged. You could see Synderen intentionally, clearly using the ult early, not
Yeah.
comboing it with Seb. Clearly, once again, resentful towards his teammates.
To be
just-
fair there, he died after like one proc of the ult. It wouldn't have mattered, my friend. I know you
But you-
really hate Synderen.
But you know Synderen, he's meticulous in his griefing ability. He knows what
Luna-
he's doing.
Luna was once known as...
Let's see.
Yeah.
Easy.
She said she was known as the plague, the scourge.
Yeah,
wasn't
the
she?
Scourge. Yeah. That, but isn't what the others called it.
I'm going to go
Really?
with C on this one. I actually don't 100% know. I don't know why I don't know. Should watch it with subtitles next time, maybe. That'll probably help. As both are going to go with C, which I believe is what I went with.
Subtitles.
So both are correct.
Why? Why subtitles? Isn't it?
I actually watch
in
most
English?
things in subtitles. Yeah, but it helps with dialogue. Just remembering it and appreciating it. All right, Guardian Angel buff for the creeps and summons, it looks like. Invoker, Mr. Dendy. Looks like this will be his 10th death of the game, and Synderen's going to follow suit as well. The Synderen death count, just for those that are wondering, is now at 10 as well. So just trying to make sure that Dendy keeps it even.
He's gonna
Appreciate
try
that.
to be out doing that soon, though. I can imagine.
Snake King disconnects as he's on the cliff. Will they bad manners kill him? Looks like that will be the case. Oh wait, that was Seb.
Yeah.
Looks like Snake
Oh,
King's
there
back.
he's
Never
back.
mind.
He's back. Yeah.
All right, good. That would have been the
I
first
can-
rage quit in All-Star match history, so glad to
Yeah.
not see it.
Yeah. You know, I can understand why he's been disoriented. Needs a minute to clear his head there.
I think we need a massive sundering again, just to bring things back into the fold.
Yeah. Okay. How long does this Guardian Angel last? Because I do believe there are
It was
creep
wild.
waves of about 50 creeps right now on both sides.
It's gone. It has
Okay,
ended.
there we-
Yeah, it takes a while. Of course, Guardian Angel, any magic damage will still be able to kill them. Very helpful late game. I will say this from personal experience playing this. As oh, Dandy's dead again. Oh dear, they're just picking on the poor guy. He probably just woke up to play this match. Just crawled out of bed. Very sad. He's gonna actually buy back into the game. Snaking. Not able to do much with that. Lotus will reply to Boom. He's gonna take the Burrow Strike. It's gonna be the double Burrow Strike, in fact. They will find the 1 kill on Boom, which is very helpful because he is a core. And Bulldog looks to be next, so likely a 2-for-1, and all it cost him was a support. Although Bulldog staying alive thanks to that Dragon Blood passive. Brought to you by Netflix. Oh, he's gonna blink and TP, and he actually gets away after all said and done.
Here on Waga for ignoring team fights.
Personal Sunder, as the 8th question is coming up, apparently Seb popped the Ghost Scepter, missed the Burrow Strike initiation. So I'm sure they're gonna be able to find him. Marcy is, oh, this one's super easy. How are they gonna get this one wrong?
Paralyzed here. I believe all the pictures I've seen of her, she is standing still. So we'll go ahead and go with C here.
All right, I'm gonna go with D, just in case you're wrong there, Jenkins, just in case.
Okay.
I would be surprised if anybody gets this one wrong. As they're gonna wait for the last second to type, and yeah, both will go with D. C.
Okay.
Yes, it was too easy, Firetail. We need to punish it. Oh my goodness!
Black hole spinning.
It's a huge team fight. Start off with the Burrow Strike. Invoker combinations as well. The Dire are being decimated. Bulldog's gonna be next on the list. TA, the last remaining member of the Dire. A huge comeback. All skill for the Radiant. As the Shackle will be used to finish off TA, but that's just the Aegis. Buyback onto No-Tail. He's going to try to get the arrow off here, but here comes Seb with the Epicenter. Waga able to blink out. Thanks to that refraction, Burrow Strike will disconnect again. That's the opposite of connect, in case you were wondering. Waga, the Lotus is applied. They do see him, though, so another kill for Radiant. What a comeback. That was a huge black hole, Jenkins.
Great comeback. Amazing play from Firetoad there. Really bringing it back here in this game. Seb actually goes in and he gets a burst strike onto No-Tail. They're gonna get him.
They're going deep. That is more than a team wipe. That is 6 dead with 0 lost.
That's his
for Radiant. Into the tier 2 tower. And the net worth lead starting to swing in their, well, not in their favor, but they're not losing by quite as much anymore. As the Rosso War is going to go down, so this is a potential tier 3 tower. As No-Tail begging for a question.
It does look like we're going to need a personal sundering here on the Radiant squad to even this out.
What is the name of the dragon which Dragonite transforms into? This is really easy as well. Come on, Jenkins. You got this, buddy. Just pick and choose.
I will go ahead and say Divine. This will be the Davian Dragonite that he turns into.
So Davian turns into a dragon named Davian. That's quite the coincidence, I have to say. I'm going to go with B.
To me, it doesn't matter what you change into. Your name is just your name. It just represents you as a person. And so as a dragon, he's still a person to me.
Oh,
Jenkins
that's really nice. Oh! Sacred arrows from all over the place. Getting perma-stunned. This might be the death of everyone. Looks like, oh, actually, Shad will survive thanks to all those stats from Scotty. So it's a 2-for-1. Very nice.
My B,
Good
boys.
try, Jenkins. Good try.
Not going for BKB and getting the Sags. That's the way to go.
Shadow. Bulldog initiates onto Dendy. We're going to follow it up with potentially the initiation from Boom, but he gets Hex on the sideline. Invoker does die at the beginning. Epicenter onto 3 heroes. Boom. He's going to Cold Embrace himself, though, as it's a 1-for-1. How many Eldworms are still sleeping by the end of the show? I believe that's... Is that spelled correctly?
Elderms is...
Elderms?
Okay, that's the trick. That's the trick question. If you don't answer, it's 0. You don't answer. No answer.
Yeah, I would accept 0, and I'm gonna say 6. I have no idea though. I have absolutely no clue. All right, looks like somebody's gonna get it wrong, if not everyone. I'm gonna finish off one more here in the meantime. So it ends up being a 1-for-3. Radiant bringing this back very nicely. Radiant is correct. So they get the shrink ray. So they're smaller now. Their HP is not reduced, so it's not like the actual shrink ray from Tinker. So now keep in mind, this is a buff because it's harder to click them. Like tracking them is going to be very annoying for Fear.
Seb still has the really expensive item though. He's got the aura thing, so pay to lose in this situation. It's very easy.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Well, they can see them, but it's just still hard to click them. You know.
So
you
their actual model size is smaller.
Yes. Correct.
And
His
hitbox
Bulldog
for arrow and
gonna
stuff.
have no trouble with that single target stun onto Cinder and into the arrow. All right, so much for the buff. No buff can save Cinder at this point.
How can you target me?
He's wondering himself. Goodness gracious.
The thing is, I think people feel so much visceral hatred for Cinderin that it's like an aura. It's larger than any, like, you know, the aura just brings you to him. All people in pubs know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Snake King gets brought to half HP with one click from Waga, but we'll be able to get out just fine.
Dude, Snake King's cute. Look at him.
He's very cuddly.
He's adorable.
Until you look at his
Walking around with his
portrait,
big thing.
then not so much.
Yeah, that's
All right.
stuff.
The
of
net
night
worth
terrors.
advantage is basically even. Caden makes his home in.
Is that just Dragon's Keep or is that a bait?
Hauptstadt? No?
I gotta look for it now.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Hauptstadt. Yeah. I remember that word. I was like, okay, I think it's A.
I could be wrong, but
Is it just baiting with Dragon's Keep? Hopefully they put pig.
It's B.
Yeah, it's possible. All right, Cinderin, I believe, has the correct answer. We'll see. I don't actually know the answers to these questions, if you haven't noticed.
I
like
definitely
ahead of
have.
time, that is.
I have noticed. Just it's even though you binge watched the show and wouldn't stop spoiling me.
Yeah, sorry,
You
Jenkins.
still don't. You still don't know.
Radiant is correct.
Okay.
Wait, who?
That was
Radiant
B. That
answered
was
B. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So the Rupture comes out, and the Dragon form for each respective member of the Radiant. So this should get an easy kill onto Boom at the very least. Cinder Salamania is disgusting. Cinder's performance.
Okay. To be fair though, that was ruptured and wolf buffed. Not so good. Not so great.
Yeah, this is the difficult one for sure. No, he's a very fast chicken. Is Waga. He's gonna get shackled though. They don't have a whole lot of damage to speak of, but there comes the epicenter into the Sunstrike, and that is more than enough to basically even this game up in terms of net worth. Appreciate that. Looks like Shad's gonna get the Aegis for himself and the cheese for a future time. Good thing they didn't give that to Cinder. And it's Boom. Looks like he's gonna get Sunstruck. It's not enough for the kill quite yet, but it looks like he'll just get Burrow Struck right after and into the Tornado. More than enough again. It's still 10 seconds for TA to come back. No Tail. Has the Lotus Orb, so keeping true to the anime, but now the Radiant are just dumpstering the Dire. Looks like we might need some comeback mechanics for the Dire once they're up, as they're gonna get a tier 2 tower and they're gonna look for more in all likelihood.
Yeah, at this point, I think the momentum is heavily in the favor of the Radiant squad. Of course, we see Shad still has his little mini-me buff.
Yep, this is true. The buybacks will come. The Dire have asked for help. They get to ask for that one time. So we'll see what ends up coming to fruition here. They get a random Bruling, and the duels will come out as well. And they're in the midst of the enemy base, so this could be advantageous for the Dire, but we'll see. Into the cookies, it's mayhem! Jenkins, mayhem! But the Dire are being decimated again. 3 dead in the blink of an eye, as this is going to be a lot of dual damage for somebody on Shad. That is just the Aegis, however, as Cinderin dies as per norm. Looks like TA, Waga, trying to focus on people on the outskirts of the fight here. They're able to use their Brewmaster Brewlings in the meantime. The Burrow Strike, I can't even tell what's going on. There's just too many cookies to consume. And the Dire will completely be team wiped as Wyvern finally back from the dead, but I don't believe he can hold this, as only Cinderin has perished for the Radiant. I don't think he can defend this at all.
Breaking down this team fight, if you could be quiet for a second here, I'm going to do my professional
yes,
analysis.
Please take it.
What's still going? Continue playback.
No, you interrupted me for a reason, Jenkins.
Okay.
The cookies, they actually help out the Dire a little bit there. Is it going to buy back into the game now? All right, now would you like to give analysis?
Yeah, I think the reason the Dire squad is actually coming back here is Boom buys back and is going to probably be able to take down Shad here. Does not have the mini-me buff, is because they focused Cinderin at the start of the fight.
Yeah, of course.
That would be my professional analytical breakdown of that. When literally everybody is dying, having a bounty hunter on your team is quite nice because you very literally get more gold for everybody dying.
Yeah, and
So
Fear
that-
has had a lot of experience in all-star matches, so he's actually very meta right now. Oh my. Is that a Luna Aghanim Scepter? He actually
is.
was able to get an Ags this game, despite the 13 that Cinderin. Such a pro gamer. This is why I'm such good friends with Cinder, because no matter how far behind he is, he'll always find a way back. As help is asked for again, although they already asked for help, I'm sure they'll get it regardless.
This is not how the show is.
That's
I
true.
mean, I don't think Dragon Knight's dead at the end of the first season, if I do recall myself.
Spoiler! Yeah, they're
Maybe
going
he
to take Cinder
survives.
down yet again. All right, Fear. Continuing to get these track kills, so that's going to be helpful for them. But they're still 10k net worth behind. They have the advantage in terms of numbers right now. See if they can actually use this to get a kill. Orchid doesn't look like... Yeah, Dendy doesn't have a BKB or anything, so he will just stand here and die.
Yeah.
Back to square one. Oh, which of Davian's family members were killed before he decided to become a dragon? Ah, this one's easy. Too easy.
I think it's his dog, right? Isn't it? Like,
If somebody says D, please let them be double correct. That's a double correct answer.
he goes on like a killing spree after his dog dies.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if it's C or B. That's actually a tough one. I couldn't remember if they mentioned him having siblings or not. Okay, I retract my original statement. That was a little harder than I thought. Thank you, Firefly. Appreciate that. Oh, the treepocalypse! Oh! All the trees are dead, and the tidal waves. Cinderin doesn't even understand what to do right now. Can't fathom what is going on. He's being right-clicked by Bulldog. The arrow is coming. Ooh, just
getting body
misses
blocked.
there. Yeah, but he is mega dead. Very good.
That's good. Did they get a track on him there for that? No, they didn't. He was Fear was defending base.
Very sad indeed. Oh, Waga does have a leveler. This could come in handy later with the buildings. And No Tail. Dendy. You know, Dendy's died a bunch, but he's actually gotten a bunch of kills now. He's gotten up to a little bit better continuation from the beginning of the game. Oh, looks like he did have the cheese, so he's going to pop that and stay alive. Waga, though, stuck inside the Rasta wards. Right-click to that double kill for Shad. And both of those cores are dead for a very long time. Looks like Bulldog's going to be next, and all Fear can do is track from a distance. Still not done with his Aghanim Scepter yet. Relatively close, but the game might just end here without some potential interference from Fire Toad.
This should be it.
In theory, the game should be over right now.
Yeah, they could just throne, I believe.
Yes, they
Shad,
could.
though, Shad is actually being good-mannered. He's going for the barracks first. Oh,
Yep,
there he goes.
boy.
Straight for the throne.
There's the initiation onto No Tail. The buyback onto T. He just got buyback right now. Looks like a bunch of duels coming out. That has been activated yet again.
He's dueling Bulldog's finger in the ace pedestal. Very good Bulldog. Great stuff from him.
That's not safe for Netflix, I don't believe. Oh, the hooks!
Oh,
the hooks from every which way!
Fountain!
Will they get hooked to Fountain? Shad is in there for just a moment. And the duel's going to force the illusion back in, but unfortunately it's not the real Shad. And it looks like the game may end here, ladies and gentlemen. Team Radiant, a.k.a. Team Netflix, despite... Yeah, Cinderin died 15 times, as well as Dendy and Snake King, but they will win the game somehow, Jenkins. What is going on?
Embarrassing. Pathetic. I don't know how Cinderin's going to sleep tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be
He
a rough
probably
one for
won't.
him.
I don't think he does. I really don't think he does. I see he's on your podcast. Next
Yeah, he
day,
is.
he's streaming opposite hours. How can you do that unless you're
I don't know.
undead? Not dead, undead.
That's
all I'm
a
saying.
great point. That's a very good point, Jenkins. Thank you for joining us again. So the throne is at 71 health. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the game is over now, as the great sundering is upon us, but it's too late. Nothing can stop the Radiant. So congratulations to Team Netflix. Thank you so much, Netflix and One Esports, the major. Good stuff. This was a very enjoyable All-Star match. Thank you to Firetoad, Slacks, everybody for putting this together. Suns fan and Jenkins signing out for now. Goodbye.
Coming up next, Evil Geniuses versus Invictus Gaming.
Feels free.
The intense passion. Best teams in the world. Powerful emotions. Epic fights. Stunning rivalries. It's time for the biggest comeback. Singapore. This March, Black Major Dota is coming back. Best teams in the world. Powerful emotions. Epic fights. Stunning rivalries. It's time for the biggest comeback. Singapore. This March. Land Major Dota is coming back. Do you miss the intense passion? Best teams in the world. Powerful emotions. Epic fights. Stunning rivalries. It's time for the biggest comeback. Singapore. This March. Land Major Dota is coming back.
They were able to do so after EG knocked them to the lower bracket in the first round. Sound familiar? Happened here as well. And then there was another major, the Leipzig major. Both teams were playing there as well, and this time EG knocked IG out of the tournament, where EG moved all the way to the grand finals, but were not able to take it. For EG, this is a big one. This is a big title to get. If they get it, it will be the first major taken by an NA team ever.
And
that's mad.
That's crazy.
Especially with how good EG has been for the last 7 years, basically. You know, they're always in the top like 3 to 6 in
they're
TI.
Consistent, solid, standard, but never really breaking it through. Not in the last, 4 years or so.
And you can't even say, you know, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, because that would mean that they were second all the time, and that's also not true.
The last time they were, though, right?
Last time they were second.
Yeah.
That's the only time they've been in a major finals.
The kind of ongoing meme was they'd always get third, like Arteezy third place curse, and I think, you know, they had a lot of third places where, you know, it'd be like Secret, VP, or PSG LGD finishing in that top 2, or Vici Gaming if you go back a few seasons, and, you know, it feels like EG here have finally made that breakthrough.
And considering the last major, we haven't seen a lot of international dotes, right? Since then, they looked very strong. They really did. They don't look any weaker at the moment.
Yeah, EG look incredible. They come here also with the easy road. Quote unquote easy. I don't know if you can call it easy. It is upper bracket. It is the toughest Dota, the best Dota being played, and EG has made it look easy. Let's put it that way. They have played, gods, you say it time and time again, they have played the cleanest Dota here.
They really have. Like, it looks very clinical draft-wise and just play-wise. They're playing aggressive when they're stronger, but they're playing very conservatively when they need to. They understand when their item timings are, whether it's the Alchemist games, even though that was their one loss. Like, they know when to fight. They are really good at controlling Roshan when they're playing that Radiant side. Like, they use the Beastmaster really well, these Vision heroes, and they're just picking and choosing their battles, not worried about playing this, you know, super fast pace. We got to run at them, and, you know, we're going to play our game, is what EG is saying.
Yeah.
Speaking of the team on the other side, they obviously did lose to Evil Geniuses already once in the tournament, but history repeats itself, has that tendency, and we interviewed them. They said, yeah, we didn't really prepare, we had no time. I sincerely find that very hard to believe. As they probably expected themselves to be in the grand finals. So we'll see if they have maybe a different set of bans for the opening or a different approach to the game, because IG, they're extremely versatile team.
Yeah, they are, and I can't wait to see their opening as well of the drafts. Of course, that's what we're talking about. To be able to have a draft, though, we need to have those players on stage. So it is time to give a warm welcome to our grand finalists.
Welcome on stage, Evil Geniuses. Welcome on stage, Invictus Gaming.
Invictus Gaming and Evil Geniuses both looking to solidify themselves as the best team in the world currently, because obviously TI is the goal also for these two teams. And I think it is very important for this series particular that we focus away from TI, because both teams kind of already secured TI mostly for themselves with the points that they're getting from being in the finals and of course securing the top seed from their region. It is about the title. There is so much pressure on it. We know EG, they've never won a title on the major stage before. The region hasn't. On the other side, IG, they come from a region where, yes, we've seen Chinese teams take major titles before, but it's been a little while. The last time was at the end of the 2019 DPC season, 2018-2019, and that was the Vici Gaming that everybody had super high hopes with, and then they ended 6 at TI, which, yes, good, not good enough for them. But I think the region is looking for a new king. We heard Emo say they're hoping to take down EG. Not for themselves, not to get the title to IG, no, to get the title
to the region.
For the region.
Yeah.
Very big.
It's been, 3 years in a row where a European team has won TI. And I think for China especially, they're used to being the region that's either on top or at least on the same level as the European region. So a lot of fans there have higher expectations to win those titles. So yeah, I think it's a really good point for IG. They're doing it for their region. They're competing. And I think NA, same thing, but also for themselves, because they need to prove they can win titles.
Yes.
EG, despite how amazingly consistent and dominant they've been, particularly in the NA region, I think just for their mentality, their psyche, going to a tournament like TI, they need to remind themselves, hey, we can win tournaments, because they haven't done that really. They've won minors, they've won smaller tournaments, they haven't won a major ever.
One minor and one summit, that's it. Yes, they have won other things, but different rosters and all that.
And much like the expectations were different for Thunder Predator, let's say, or SCA Neon coming into this tournament, same goes for IG coming into the regionals. Maybe not necessarily to the same extent. Everyone expected this powerhouse of Elephant to come in, sweep everything away, and be the team that comes out on top, and perhaps the team that gets here to the finals because of all the superstars. However, IG said no, we have something different planned out, and they're here in the finals. Looking forward to seeing what they have in store for us in this game one.
So let's start talking some Dota. One of the things that I want to point out is, yes, we've seen EG only 3 series so far, 7 games in total. Both Arteezy and Fly have played 6 different heroes in those 7 games. Gods, that is very diverse.
Makes it hard to prepare for them, and I think what EG have shown is they're generally going to save that Arteezy pick for the end of the draft, with the exception of like one game where they first 2 picked an Alchemist. They're a team that have a lot of faith in Arteezy's ability to win the game based on having the last pick of the draft and having that flex opportunity.
We'll see now if they go for the same bans like in the first series. I believe Invictus Gaming went with IO Phoenix, meanwhile Evil Geniuses with Earth Spirit plus, sorry, the other way around, Earth Spirit plus Dead Prophet from Invictus Gaming because of crit, obviously, right? So, yeah, and the IO Phoenix from Evil Geniuses. We'll see if they go in a similar direction.
It feels like that first pick advantage gets stronger and stronger as we go in the tournament because of some of those key heroes like the Puck, both Abed as well as Emo play an amazing Puck. So I think, it's earlier on, some teams valued having last pick of the draft, getting to counter everything, or maybe playing on their preferred side, Radiant Dire. But this is where having first pick, controlling what the bans are. If you have first pick, your opponents have to ban Io, for example.
Exactly.
And maybe as Puck
maybe
as well.
Exactly. Yeah, so when you don't have first pick, it feels like you just don't have any bans because you're just forced to ban certain heroes.
So I have
Radiant team ban.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. intense passion. Best teams in the world. Powerful emotions. Epic fights. Stunning rivalries. It's time for the biggest comeback. Singapore. This March. Black Major Dota is coming back.
It can work in your favor.
It can work.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
can work in your favor. If you have IO as well, anything can work in your
The
favor.
big if is if you can survive the lanes, because EG are the best laning stage team in the world right now. That is how they win a lot of their games. That is really what they prioritize with their picks, their play. They're picking these heroes that can just win their lanes, and then they go from there.
In the upper bracket so far, we've seen very few comebacks. It has been whoever wins the lanes kind of wins the game, because at this level, teams are not making mistakes to throw away their leads. Or at least they normally don't. We definitely had a little moment where a lot of IG fans against PSG LGD were maybe a little sweating
in
the lower bracket finals.
What you just said was proven very much in that second game, in which the lanes were lost and you just can't win the game afterwards. All 3 lanes went in the favor of PSG LGD, so it was just a GG afterwards. GG. But yeah, we'll see. I believe that Invictus Gaming and Evil Geniuses are very solid in their laning stage, and it should be the most common way. You win one lane, you lose one lane, and one evens out.
Yeah, we've seen not too much of either teams this tournament. IG obviously a little bit more because they got dropped to the lower bracket in round 2 of the uppers. How would you describe the growth that these two teams have had during this tournament? Would you even consider, for example, EG to have had any growth, because they came in super hot, still looking super hot? I don't know if there has been a big growth.
It's hard to say with EG. I think they did show in that last best of 3 a new look. They had Arteezy win games on both Razor and Bloodseeker, 2 new carries, and carries he wasn't playing during the NADPC League. He played Razor, you know, if you go back 5 or 6 years, was one of his signature picks, but it wasn't the greedy, I'm going to farm my lane, then farm the jungle kind of carry. So whether that's growth or just EG adapting.
Oh, that's definitely growth, because if you look at that was also versus the Monkey King, and if you look at the way SA and SCA teams that are usually playing like that with a position 1 that's just crazy and fighting all the time, Aegis Prophet and whatnot, I believe they might have copied, or they've been inspired by these different teams, maybe even inspired by IG, because even though they won against them, IG is a team that likes to flex the win condition on the mid lane because they have emo. And when you look at Evil Geniuses, Arteezy definitely is a formidable player, but Abed is
we saw what he can do, especially on puck. You know, it's like,
and that Storm Spirit performance was pretty solid.
That's another hero which I feel like has been underpicked this tournament. When we've seen Storm picked in that second phase, it is the spirit that bullies the other one, that can win the matchups against the Void Spirit, against the Ember Spirit, and can just take over and carry games and allow you to pick a less greedy safe laner.
Okay, actually a different ban instantly coming from IG, so that's we haven't seen this. Usually they would ban out the Earth Spirit, right, versus the crit. This time Tusk. But do you ban out both of those, because one of them is going to be taken, right?
We'll have to wait and see. I'm curious, because I think for this first game, it looks like IG are going to have first pick, so the pressure is going to be on EG as far as banning those signature big meta picks. So we'll have to see what EG look to take out here in game number 1.
Yeah, another hero we should be wary of, or at least IG should be wary of, it is the Alchemist. EG is not afraid to first phase it, and it's definitely something to keep in the back of your mind. Curious how this is going to go down. We do have the IO ban, as said, EG. They kind of have to. Alchemist will then also be banned out by IG, and let's see if EG, without having first pick, remove the puck, because if they leave it in, IG will pick it up.
And the Tusk as well. It's like we saw the future, and it's incredible. Yeah, let's see. The puck, probable ban by Evil Geniuses. That Prophet perhaps as well, even though IG were usually the team that does ban out that Prophet. So, or Evil Geniuses can go in a different direction. And okay, puck, never mind. Everything else. I thought that they might ban out JT, because it looks like IG has started picking his heroes earlier and earlier because they want to secure his Mars or his Timbersaw, these kind of heroes.
Yeah, we've seen that banned out against them quite a bit, the Timbersaw especially. They go for the Phoenix here, first round. They have played it on both Kaka and Ollie, so having a little bit of a flex with a 4 and 5. mostly. It's been played as their 5, and I have I have to think about a series that was earlier today, and I believe, Lizard, you do not like Mirana first pick.
Not a personal favorite, but in the series before, it was flexed to the mid position, in which Emo just dominated super hard. And yeah, when you're IG and you pick that Mirana, you can flex the hero from 4 to offlane to mid lane, and because of that, it's a really good pick. And for EG right now, they needed a hero that deals with Yegg. They pick it up, but because of that, they give away the Mars. And
I think they had no plans to pick the Mars themselves. So that's where I'm totally okay with this. I think their plan is to go for more their style of offlaners, the Beastmaster, the Timbersaw for themselves for Ice. I don't think they just once they saw that Phoenix pick, they're like, okay, they're gonna get Mars Phoenix. What are we gonna play?
There you go, the Beastmaster.
We're gonna play the Ice Beastmaster. They're on the dire side this time. Usually they're picking this on Radiant, but either way, it's this hero that pushes lanes, gives them that map control, and a very strong pairing with the Mirana, which typically is played in the 4 position when EG are running this. Very kind of NA DPC meta. Mirana was one of the most picked 4s because Earth Spirit was just getting banned every game. 4 position players love to play this greedy 4 Mirana.
And on the other side, we have the Phoenix-Mars combination. We see that it is still strong. However, it is not the end-all be-all that it used to be. Now you just have to buy BKB, and you're fine.
Yeah, and
free.
you can see that Invictus Gaming, they realize exactly that. Because of that, Jug is going out. You don't want to be playing versus these heroes that already have a BKB with them. So Jug, possibly one of the better bans. Maybe they can look towards the Troll as well, heroes. The other cores that just do well versus Mars and Phoenix.
And it's very much EG in comfort zone because they played against this exact Mars Phoenix before. They had the Beastmaster. The Beastmaster went for a BKB hero that doesn't normally get it. They had BKB on their other cores. Like, this is not something new for them or any team at this point, but EG just considering how few games they've played, it's almost to me an advantage they're playing against something for a second time now.
My biggest question is which one of the cores on the side of Invictus Gaming will be playing that true win condition, because they can flex things up. We've talked about this. Emo with some Morphlings or something similar that in the past have been banned out against them.
His TA has been amazing.
The Storm Spirit as well, pretty formidable.
I gotta say, Storm Spirit, one of those heroes I think both teams have to be worried about. That's what Abe did. You've got Beastmaster, that hero that can give you all that vision, and you want to jump that backline. Jump a hero like Phoenix before he can get his spells off. So I like Storm a lot against this Phoenix Mars because they don't bring that reliable lockdown or disable to kind of deal with it.
Yeah, and talking about growth, there are 2 heroes that have grown pretty much on every single team in the last couple of days. That's Phantom Lancer, that I expected way more at the early stages of this tournament, and the second one is Phantom Assassin.
Yeah.
So maybe one of these 2 will go out through.
And if you're speaking about 2 cores there, let me throw 2 supports in the mix. Shadow Shaman and Lion, both still available for picking.
Ooh. Both of them very much available. Lion, if he's picked into Invictus Gaming, I don't necessarily like him way too much into Beastmaster. Boars are hitting you, Necros are hitting you, you're scouted by the Hawk and whatnot. But if you are Invictus Gaming, you have Kaka, and we've seen what he can do on the hero.
Yeah.
There you go, with the Phantom Lancer banned out by Evil Geniuses.
It's going to be interesting to see what Fly and RTZ get to play this game. We got a bit of a heavy focus on getting cores out of the way.
Yeah, with the Phantom Lancer banned out, maybe Evil Geniuses are looking towards that Morphling. Haven't seen it, but it's possible. Terrorblade as well, that's in the pool that they've played. They actually played in this matchup on the side of EG, right, and won with the TB.
And the other carry that I think I maybe prefer is something EG succeed with, which is fast-paced Dota, is Weaver. We've seen Weaver look really good. Just not against the games where it's looked bad is when it's against a hero, a carry match like a PL, where it doesn't have an answer for all the illusions.
And don't be fooled, even though IG banned out the Tide Hunter, it's mostly because they play it on 5 on EG. Right?
Yes.
They flex it completely on Fly. And I'm not sure. I've seen a couple of teams ban out like Enchantress versus EG, ban out the Tide, and I'm not quite certain if the value of those bans.
It's hard because we haven't seen Fly dominate on Enchantress here at the major. It's been banned against him, but it was his go-to if you go back to the leagues. And I think that's where it's really hard to draft and prepare for these teams that started in the playoffs, because you have to look at the leagues. Yeah, you have to look at the leagues and be like, this was one of their best heroes. Like, it doesn't matter if they haven't picked it yet. We just kind of got to ban it probably. But it looks like, that nice thing with the best of 5 is you do have that wiggle room. So maybe IG saying, look, they haven't really proven they can dominate lanes with Enchantress yet. Let's give it to them game 1 and just see how good it is, because we don't rate this hero as highly as they do.
Yeah, one of the strangest things for me here is that Prophet, Void Spirit, all of these heroes completely untouched, and Evil Geniuses actually still ban out the Timber.
They're worried about some kind of flex.
They're worried about Mars mid, because we have seen it. Even though I think it's exclusive versus the Puck pick, which has already been banned, it still can be drafted in the mid lane versus other heroes.
Yeah, and we've not seen Emo play it either, but yeah, it's a threat. You want to make sure that Timber Saw is not going to come out.
When you have 2 superstar players, Emo and Avid, I just don't want to see Mars mid. I don't want to even see Dead Prophet mid, nothing like that. I want to see Pucks, Storms, Void Spirits, Ember Spirits. For fun.
Death Prophet ignored, by the way, so
far.
Yeah,
completely.
It's crazy to think that this has been like a first pick, first ban hero, but these 2 teams decide, actually, maybe not so much. And EG get an Abaddon, a hero, you're against this big team fight. Well, Abaddon doesn't die in it. He can just go in, run in first, tank some spells. And generally, if you're IG, you don't want to throw spells at an Abaddon because it's just a waste of time. Yeah,
and they banned out the Oracle, so that's the only, let's say, big saver remaining from the position 5 that Evil Geniuses have snatched for themselves. Plus, if Phoenix is 4, you could have taken the Abaddon on IG. You would be playing versus Mirana and Beastmaster. It's a pretty solid pickup.
And now the Timber ban makes sense. I feel like EG knew they were going to be picking heroes that don't address Timbersaw, like a 5-position Abba, maybe even Arteezy's carry of choice is just not going to have any way of dealing with a Timbersaw. So they're just like, if they pick Timber off lane and flex this Mars mid, we can't beat it. So
by the way, the TB that we mentioned earlier, Phoenix and Mars already are a bit difficult to play into. It's still possible, but not quite confident with that pick, let's put it that way.
And of course, we can't forget with EG, this first pick Mirana, we expect it to be a 4, but just last series, it was flexing in the mid lane. So potential for it to go there, but you really do need to see your matchup before you can choose to send Mirana mid.
Yeah, I would still give it to Crit, right? He's just such a strong Mirana player. And you want to have this position 4 that can jump on top of the egg and kill it.
Well, we're switching it up. The Disruptor coming out. It will be IG's first Disruptor of the tournament.
Kind of funny to see it picked into an Abaddon. Sometimes, if you never lane against each other because both are 5, but
here's the Storm pick. We were talking about how this could be so good for both teams. They have mid players who can be the win condition that can win the game. You don't need to rely on just Arteezy becoming that super late game carry when you can have Abed playing the Storm Spirit. And a hero that synergizes so well with what Beastmaster brings to the table.
If you're IG, do you want to pick up your counter to that Storm right now? Because you know that there's going to be 2 bans coming out to focus.
Two bans coming out to focus the mid lane or the safe lane. So you're kind of looking at the drafts, looking at the bans. How many more heroes do we have left in the pool, and what do we do with that right now?
Let's see. It's the Naga Siren coming out.
Oh, damn.
So far, I think it's only Arteezy that's played a game of Naga Siren.
Yeah, versus Techies.
Yeah, a bit of a weird game we saw. It was picked once or twice in the group stage. I know Quincy played in one of their games, so...
The team fight from IG is ridiculous. And now one thing, though. If this Naga plays the way Arteezy played it, I'm loving it. The Orchid, the SNY, I believe, Manta early on, and then you just fight. If you go for this AFK style Naga that just roams around the triangle and the jungle
takes all the farm on the map.
It was so bad during the leagues. This was the one hero that would lose for anyone if played like that.
And I think that's also just the carry in general right now is like you cannot afford to be playing this passive farm your jungle style. You have to be linking up with your team early to mid-game, even before you get your farming items.
So why is it picked up here? Why 4th pick Naga Siren?
Your team fight is ridiculously strong. You have set up for Disruptor, and also it's one of those heroes that has very high armor versus the Beastmaster, plus you don't really care about the boars. You can just send the illusions on him, so overall the laning stage itself should be pretty solid for the Naga.
I don't love it against the Storm, but I don't think there are carries that match up well against the Storm. There's not many that have that insta-catch or kill potential other than the obvious anti-mage, but this is not an anti-mage game. You're playing against Beastmaster. Anti-mage is completely fallen off, so they're probably just looking at this like, okay, what hero is going to work without draft? Storm doesn't like destroy Naga. Naga doesn't destroy Storm. You do have the ensnare if you ever catch the Storm, which is kind of hard to do.
You get that upgraded ensnare as well through Pierce's spell immunity. Could come in handy.
But IG still right now they're all in that team fight, and I feel like Storm in general is a hero. His playstyle does well against these heavy team fight lineups because you can just kind of play the outside of the fight. You can hit and run. You can cut waves. You can do a lot of annoying things, which Abed is so good at. And none of these heroes, I would say, are great against Storm Spirit.
It's IG actually that ban out the anti-mage versus Evil Geniuses. They do need that one hard carry that matches up against Naga. My question is, will they go for that route? Or will they put Abed on that big winning condition of Storm and then give something that just fights early on for Arteezy? Like that Bloodseeker that we've seen yesterday.
Could be they're taking their time here. They still have a lot of their bonus time left compared to IG. IG only has 5 seconds remaining in their bonus time. They used most of it to think about their Disruptor pick. And they find Disruptor right now. I'd be quite worried about Abed Storm jumping me because he's going to be first focused, most likely.
You can see that they banned out the Queen of Pain. And even though that's a matchup that can really go out of control for Quap. But same goes for Storm. If you do well enough in the laning stage, you get that Orchid before Queen of Pain gets used, or the Orchid, you're just hunting her throughout the whole matchup. So let's see what the other ban is. Most likely another mid laner, right?
So Void Spirit is still in the pool, Death Prophet's still in the pool. And to be fair, all spirits are still in the pool.
Yeah, I kind of like the. I mean, Co-op brings the Orchid, but having a hero like one of those spirits that maybe doesn't lane amazing against Storm, but gives you a way to catch and kill Storm later on, like the Ember particularly for me.
The ban that they did was my favorite. I think that Prophet would have been the best for Invictus Gaming because you don't necessarily have to think about the laning itself, but your objective taking capabilities, and if Naga will be the AFK farmer, who's going to do anything on the map for you? You need...
That's so true. And even when Naga joins up, that's not a hero that particularly takes Roche or pushes towers that fast or effectively, so Death Prophet would have kind of filled that gap.
Let's see what they go for.
Ooh.
That's some next level greed coming from IG. Now they have done it before, but it's usually Bloodseeker safe lane, Weaver safe lane, something similar. And
all
then
the things we said before, in terms of lanes and how well the lanes do normally set you up for a win or a loss, how would you rate that, the laning stage for IG Lizard?
At the laning stage for me necessarily isn't the problem. The problem is when this Storm pops off and just starts hunting the Morphling and the Naga. Disruptor is difficult for him, but the laning stage should be fine for them. And
carry
they go with
Lash. I was thinking, okay, who's the heroes that deal with time again?
And I really like this approach because when you look at IG, they're full greed. You have Morphling on the mid lane. Obviously, he's not going to go for the standard route. He will be more active early on.
He will have to.
But he is still a Morphling on the mid lane, plus Naga safe lane. I really think that Evil Geniuses have them a little bit outdrafted here.
I tend to agree. I think for IG, it's going to be really hard to get to that stage where they can capitalize on having this Naga and Morphling farm. The way they do it, though, is going to be that big team fight. I think Naga needs to be active early on, needs to join the fights. You've got this crazy team fight around the sleep with Disruptor follow-up, Mars Phoenix. EG can't really team fight into that unless they kind of start snowballing ahead with their draft.
Do you then feel like IG has the edge here, or would you still go for EG?
I would still go for EG. I think the way I've seen Abed play this
You would go with them anyway.
Look, I see Abed Puck, I see Abed Storm, you know. That's enough for me.
Easy choice. I think there's a lot with you. I mean, I go for EG, you're also going for EG. So how can you judge gods for going for EG?
I have a feeling that we might see some history being made here with the amount of teamfight possibility coming from IG. If they turn it, they will turn it with Naga into the Disruptor royalty, into the egg and everything.
There's a lot of pressure on IG to get their team fight going. I'm curious to hear from Lacoste and Odie Pixel if they feel like that amount of team fight from IG will come in time.
Could be, you know, but the EG, they ran something similar with the Razor draft where they didn't really have the super late game, because right now they're playing against 2 Agi cores and both of their cores are intelligent, so they need to have a good advantage, you know, coming after the laning stage, 10-15 minutes in, they need to have an advantage. Lashrak is a good pick, you know, to deal with the Naga Siren. OD, you got anything to add? Anything smart?
I mean, I'm just sort of blown away by how greedy IG's gone. I mean, Morphling and Naga I've got to be honest, I'll be completely surprised if EG aren't able to punish this. I think EG's going to be able to run them over. I just don't see this level of greed, teams getting away with it in the grand finals of a major.
Well, let's find out if IG can get away with this greed or if EG will take the first game of this best-of-5 grand finals. ODPixel Lacoste, take it away.
Thank you very much. But yeah, Lacoste, I mean, obviously a lot of greed with the final 2 cores of IG. They do have that phenomenal setup and team fight around it.
Yeah, I remember the old cheats, you know, greed is good. You know, sometimes I think in this game it could be punished. Like, EG, they have a fast lineup, they have a maneuverable lineup with the Storm Spirit, Beastmaster. I want to see if Arteezy once again gets like an earlier bot so that he can be moving around the map, something that he did on Razor, just to put some more pressure, like you're going to bring that one extra hero.
Yeah, and you like the way that EG ended up, going for the Arteezy Lesh when you consider what was in the pool. This was pretty much the best thing to
A lot of the carries were banned out, like those Radiance type of carries, also like... You had a really good point, maybe it would be a good lifestealer game because they had really nothing, but then they picked Morphling and they're like, maybe they did not want to go for it. So they decided to go for Leshrac, something that deals well with the illusions. Right now, Leshrac, just a jungler. Just jungle Lesh.
He's checking out the lanes, making sure that they get the matchups that they want. Arteezy will continue to head down bottom.
Something that they've done before, multiple times already throughout this major. Just leave Ice on the safe lane, especially when they were playing Alchemist with the Acid Spray. And the Tusk, this time around, they don't have that strong of a tri-lane, but it's still super strong. I remember historically, Disruptor, he was not considered, like every single time, when, like the tri-lanes were a thing, everyone was playing it. You see a Disruptor, you want to aggressive tri-lane, because what he brings is pretty much just a Thunderstrike.
We'll see. Top lane with this setup now. Ice. Have to deal with Fly and Kaka putting the pressure on. Should be able to find some decent CS underneath the tower. And this mid lane matchup. Definitely eyes on how well Emo is going to be able to do against Arbed, how much he's going to be able to get up lane. Bottom lane, Ollie. Oh, going to be just slightly off the mark with the stun, but it doesn't matter. EG will be the ones to claim first blood with the tri-lane.
Right now, they're thinking, do we help Kaka on the top lane? Made the big pull, will deny some of the creeps, will get level 2 by that. But the way EG is playing, like they're sacrificing Ice's Ice Farm, he's one of the craziest players out there. He will eventually do something that might sound or look stupid, and like EG will get the advantage from it. Like remember the Pango leader, when he was playing Pango, just rolling inside the base, going near the tier 4 towers, and then you see like 1 or 2 people rotating, trying to punish that, which opens up more space for EG.
See mid lane Emo. Try and get up aggressive onto Arbed. Both heroes just baiting each other. Arbed still with Fairy Fires to play with.
Using the healing salve, has a bottle coming up to him, so that's going to be good. Emo, ooh, that arrow.
Nah, Emo's got to be careful. These movements over from Crit, and we're seeing already in the mid matchup, Arbed is just having a phenomenal time against Emo in the 1v1. 11 for 6 against the 6 for 4. Arbed, if there's no rotations or any input from the rest of the members of IG around this mid lane, we're going to see Arbed get some very quick item timings.
He will be. Also, Mirana without Marcy doesn't seem that strong. She does not have anyone to guide the arrows. Arbed just playing very aggressive on a mid lane with 1-1-1 build. It's a Morphling, very hard to kill, but Arbed so far doing a really, really good job. 15 CS, 8 denies. He has more denies than Morphling has CS, which is pretty impressive.
Top lane, they do get the kill onto Ice. See if Crit can get the return kill onto Kaka. He's got the stick charges. And Crit running him down. Let's see if Kaka can get away from this. He can. He's into these trees. Crit won't be able to follow. So able to get something done up top. Of course, this is the lane where we do imagine EG are going to have the tougher time with the way it's been set up. We'll see how much Crit sticks around to make it a little safer for Ice.
When you have offlaner on the safe lane and he gets a bottle, like I want to see if they will be able to like contest the 5-minute bounty rune. If you don't get it, like there should be Crit also pressuring the bottom lane 5 minutes in, just securing the bounties, especially since JT picked up that bottle, so that they don't get any value from the bounties.
See, Arbed did try and go for the rune, but with a quick waveform, Emo. Is in. We'll be able to stop Arbed from getting the refill on his bottom, but still this mid lane, 21 and 11 against the 8 for 4. Emo pretty much having just no game at all so far in this laning stage as Arbed has completely demolished him.
He still needs 50 gold to finish off his bottle. Level 4, Storm 5.25. Looks really good for Arbed.
So now bottom flight. It's going to be alright here with RTZ by his side. JT and Ollie not going to try and dive anymore. CS at the moment down on the bottom lane. JT 24-1 against RTZ's 18-1. RTZ try and turn, but as soon as the spells come out, JT's able to push him away. Actually, he's not able to get too much damage done with the Edict. It's up top, Kaka. Trying to prepare the jungle.
Oh, the glimpse. He does not want him to refill the bottle.
Oh, he might get the kill here, Fly. He's got the shield, but JT's going to have another God's Rebuke in a couple of seconds. And Fly, oh, he's
He
gone.
got him. Now, that was such nicely done by Oli. Using Glimpse just to secure that Arteezy is not going to pick up the bounty, refill his bottle, then the spear, they get the rune. Meanwhile, Arteezy is getting some free CS on the bottom lane, uncontested.
Once this goes on up top, Ice, he's back to getting quite a bit out of this lane. Well, we're seeing, of course, still the edge for Fly at the moment. He's the top farmer on the board, Fly. As there's no pressure onto the Naga Siren with this lane setup. Fly getting all the space in the world. And EG's lineup. I mean, is it going to be up to EG to make any sort of rotation up towards the Naga Siren? I mean, when are we going to see EG start to group together and go? Is it? How early is that going to happen this game?
Once Beastmaster hits level 6 and gets Book 1, they could potentially threaten a kill on
Careful, Jakey's able to get in. Spear RTG Underwater can take that. The ending done, but now Arbex, he's going to come back. Should put it around. CMO disabling Arbex for now. With the Yours, Arbex still sitting off the side. Supernova's going to be successful this time. Catching the three of them. RTG going on. Arbex just like it. Overwatch only brings down the Disruptor. Long setup from Fly being used here to actually allow IG to back away.
Oh man, this was such a big move. Like, he fought Morphling, but there was no real follow-up. They just needed one extra stun and an arrow or Storm Spirit jumping in. Then Storm jumps on the Phoenix, who manages to get the Supernova off. And once again, those Yule Scepters just keeping them in the air so the egg can go off. Like a bit of a throw there. Arteezy, like, he lost the Bloodstone charges as well. On top of that, he thought his team was not there.
No, not at all. Just a little too far forward away from the rest of the squad, and not the usage out of the Aegis that EG kind of need to get when they're running a lineup like this. Sort of deaths and slowdowns in the process that they're going for with their draft. It's gonna hurt.
That was kind of like a shocked Pikachu face, or what's going on? Where's the rest of the team? And this will slow them down. Like, still, Morphling doesn't deal that much damage. You didn't get the Manta style, you know, so you don't get the Full Scepter is a cheaper way of dispelling things. Now going into E-Blade, so that's gonna help out quite a lot with the